is the only thing stopping us from achieving our dreams, and we only fear what we don't understand, then the antidote to fear is knowledge. All we have to do is find out who has the knowledge that we need to conquer our fears and achieve our entrepreneurial dreams. My name is Callum Walker, and welcome to the podcast that will help you figure it out and conquer this lonely entrepreneurial journey.
Today's a really important episode because I think it might be the most important episode that I have done to date. Why is that? Because kind of in line with the title of this whole podcast of figuring it out and what it really means to figure it out, is that really the only thing stopping us from achieving our dreams is fear, is doubt, is worry, is a lack of belief in ourselves. And we can just call it that shitty little voice. That shitty little voice in your head, that program that is just running and telling you why, all of the reasons why this isn't going to work. And I'll be completely open and honest with you, like all day today, I had that program running through my head. It was very negative today. It was really negative. And I want to share with you what I did to overcome that, because right now it's not negative. I actually feel incredibly excited now. I feel incredibly positive. I feel very happy and content, and the level of power that negative voice has in my head right now is very low. So the way I like to kind of look at this negative voice as well, which is really interesting. You know, when you're on Instagram and you've got to put a reel together and you've got to put some music, and it's almost like you have two volume bars. You have the volume bar of you talking, and then you have the volume bar of the music. And sometimes the music is exceptionally high and the volume of you is very low. I like to see my relationship with that voice in a very similar sort of way. So if I kind of look at today, throughout the day, the volume of the voice was significantly louder than the volume of my current voice of what I actually truly think and what I want to think. It was much higher, and therefore it had more power over me. However, right now, I would say that Callum's voice is 95 out of 100, and the little negative voice is 5 out of 100 in terms of the volume. So what did I do to change that? I'll tell you what I didn't do. I didn't think positive thoughts. I didn't think happy thoughts. And what I want to run through today is 3 things that will help you overcome that voice. By overcome, I don't mean have it not be there. I mean remove its power over you. I mean remove the level of volume that it has in comparison to the amount of volume that you want it to have. So I think first of all, what's really important is that, well, why is this thing important? Well, if you really break it down, everyone in the personal development world says the same thing of you can create whatever reality that you want because your thoughts become things. You can control your thoughts. But no one tells you how or why. But is that actually true? Is it true that like our thoughts are the things that will actually drive our ability to have success or not? Well, absolutely. Why is that? Because your thoughts drive your actions, and your actions drive your results. So if I have results of I have no clients, well, that means I must have taken actions that have caused me to have no clients. So therefore, our thoughts drive our actions. Whatever I think about, I will then act on. So therefore, if I've taken actions that have caused me to have no clients, that means I must have been thinking I have no clients. Does that make sense? So that means that if we want to have more clients, we've got to start doing more actions that are in line with getting more clients, which means I've got to start thinking about how can I get more clients and stop thinking about I have no clients. Make sense? So actually, I'm really, really holding back a lot from saying, does that make sense? Because my guys on my elite coach called me out on it and they said, do you realize how many times all you do is just say, does that make sense? So actually, I'm going to submit to it, because do you know what my dream is? My dream is to have, we've got events, there's over 100 coaches, all on the Next Level Coach and the Elite Coach program. And on offer to sell is a t-shirt with my face on it saying, does that make sense? That's my dream. That really, really is my dream. So yeah, does that make sense anyway? So 3 things that can really help. First thing, like I said, that voice was really loud today. That voice was really, really loud, and my program inside was very, very much running on me basically saying, like, I'm a bag of shit, I'm no good, my business is a bag of shit. Okay, so that voice was running through my head. First thing, realize that that's not you. On the last episode, I know I got very, very deep from a spiritual perspective, and I got very deep in the workings of the subconscious mind, but that voice saying all of the reasons why it's not going to work, all of the reasons why I have no clients, I'm no good, I'm a fraud, all of that, that's not me. I see it as, it's actually just scared little Callum. So it's Callum, but as a child. It's Callum as a child who has been told you're not good enough, who's had all of these experiences that have resulted in no clients, who've had all of these experiences where people have let him down and people have rejected him, and therefore he then thinks that he's a reject. Because all those thoughts are just past experiences replaying themselves out, predicting the future, but they're predicting the future off the back of past experiences. But the thing is, if you're constantly moving forward, then you're constantly getting better, then you can't judge your future on past experiences anymore, because you're creating a new future. So I think, first of all, it's, knowing that that voice isn't me, it's just the programming in my mind of old me, of old circumstances. So I think that's important, because it then detaches from you. You go, right, actually, this is just my program. So that helps. Is it enough? No. I think what you need to then do, which is step 2, which is identify your triggers. So identify the triggers as to the times when that voice is louder and the times when that voice isn't louder. So I'll be open and honest with you. I'm normally very ketogenic, but yesterday I was like, you know what? I haven't had a pizza in a long time. So I ordered a pizza and I had it at home. I've really enjoyed it. But then I felt like fucking shit today. I woke up, I felt very negative. And that's why I am ketogenic most of the time. And I fasted today to get myself back into ketosis, because the ketogenic diet has anti-anxiety effects. It really, really changes the wiring of the brain, and the brain functions in a very, very different way. I see the world through a very, very different lens when I'm ketogenic, when I'm fasted, and my brain is operating like that. So one trigger for me, shit food, and specifically high glucose containing foods. When I've got excess glucose, it really, really is like that voice is a lot louder. So that is a trigger for me. Then secondly, the other thing was that I woke up early. So I played golf today and I had to wake up additionally early. So I'm a bit sleep deprived. That voice is always louder when I'm sleep deprived. My ability to control the voice is suppressed because the amygdala is firing. What do I mean by that? The emotional center of the brain is more in control. My ability to be in control of my emotional thoughts is suppressed. So that's from being in a sleep deprived state. Then naturally I was a lot more rushed because I was playing golf, so I had to get up and I had to get out. When I have to get up and I get out, it just like, I'm not able to kind of live life at my pace. Like I very much like to, although I work quickly, I have to start slowly because, I just feel like out of balance and things happen too quickly, and it's just not a nice place for me to kind of come from when that's happening. So that's why I have a very, very slow morning of, I do my cold water therapy, I then do some breath work, I then do a yoga session, and then I have my coffee to just gradually start the day. I wasn't able to do that, so I started a little bit almost kind of on like a bit of a wobbly bridge, and then normally I delay my my caffeine intake by about 90 minutes to 2 hours. one thing is that when you first wake up in the morning, your cortisol levels, so your stress hormone levels, are significantly higher. And what happens is that caffeine very much elevates your cortisol levels. So if we kind of look at it, that when we first wake up in the morning, our cortisol is high, but then it gradually starts to drop. So if we're delaying our caffeine intake, one reason why it doesn't result in as much anxiety is because instead of our cortisol level being at 100, it's dropped down to about 20. So caffeine will enhance our cortisol, but it takes me from 20 to 40 as opposed to 100 to 150. Does that make sense? So naturally, when I had my caffeine, it was a lot earlier because I was rushed. So I didn't get to really sit and enjoy my cup of coffee, but then also my cortisol levels were a lot higher. So just those three things in itself, shit food, faster start to the morning, caffeine intake at a specific time, they're all triggers. So what does that do for me? It does two things. The first thing is that I now know what my triggers are. So I know, so for me, my triggers are that voice is very, very loud and I haven't slept well. That voice is very, very loud when I have eaten shit. That voice is very loud when my caffeine intake is out of whack. That voice is very loud when I haven't had a good start to the morning. That voice is loud when I'm not getting sunlight. That voice is loud when I'm not exercising. That voice is very loud when I drink alcohol. I'm officially 90 days sober today, by the way. Not because, I'll do another podcast on that. Not because I'm going sober and teetotal. I just haven't had a drink in 90 days. So yeah, I'm very proud of myself for that. And I don't miss it. I feel fantastic. So alcohol is a huge trigger for me. So because I know my triggers, I now know the things to avoid. So alcohol is a big trigger, so I haven't drank for 90 days. But also, the other thing, which is the second thing, which is, because I know that those are my triggers and those triggers the voice, I know that that voice is only there because of that. So I know that that voice is there because I haven't slept well. I know that voice is there because I've excessively consumed caffeine in the wrong way. I know that voice is there because I haven't started my way normally, which then means that I can emotionally detach from it and go, well, it's just there. It's just there. It doesn't warrant merit because it's not normally here. And eventually when it's there less, you then start paying less attention to it and it has less power over you. So it's almost like its default setting is, instead of it being at volume 75 out of 100, when it rears its head, it's at volume 70 or volume 65 or 60. So yeah. So if we kind of run through the two things. First of all, realizing it's not you, it's just past patterns. Secondly, realizing your triggers. That allows you to, one, avoid them, or two, be able to detach from them. So when the voice rears its ugly head, you know that it's only there because of that, which allows you to detach from it. And then the third thing is, what are we going to do about it? I'll tell you the one thing that you don't want to do, which is think positive thoughts. I'm not saying don't think positive thoughts. Absolutely think positive thoughts. But they're not powerful enough to begin with. They almost need a stimulus. We've got to get because if I have positive thoughts, when that volume of the negative thoughts is at 70, and I crank the positive thoughts up to 70, I'm not really going to hear them. So it's the same with when you've got a reel on Instagram, that if I've got the volume of me speaking at 70 and the volume of the music speaking at 70, well, the volume of me, you can't really hear me. So actually, I can bump me up louder, but that's just going to make it muffled. So what can I do? Just turn the fucking music down. That's what we got to do. That's what the one thing that we need to do is control the mind with the body. Don't control the mind with the mind. Because what controlling the mind with the body allows us to do is to turn the music down, turn the volume of the voice down. So that's my first port of call. I got to recognize that, right, the voice is here. What am I going to do about it? I'm going to do it. I'm going to turn the volume down by changing my physical state. So today, what did I do? I was like, right, obviously going for a walk isn't enough. I can't run at the moment because I did a half marathon the other day and it just kind of like flared up my IT band, so my knees hurting a bit. So, what did I do? I jumped in an ice cold fucking bathtub. I went and bought 4 bags of ice, and my ice machine that I have in my fridge, I emptied it and poured it into a bathtub, and I jumped straight in there. And the beauty is that when you jump into a freezing cold fucking bath, lake or shower, you're not thinking about the negative thoughts of, oh, where's my client coming from? You're thinking, fuck me, this is cold. And it's amazing that physical state just changes like that. It changes. And then I've turned the volume down, and that's where my positive thoughts can start to come in. So what did I do off the back of that? So I did some cold water therapy. I jumped in an ice bath, and it made me feel amazing. I was like, oh yes, this is it. So then what did I do? I didn't do some affirmations. One thing that's really stuck with me is from Napoleon Hill's book, Outwitting the Devil. It's an incredible book. He actually wrote it in 1938, I think. Yeah, 1938 he wrote it. But it wasn't published until 2012, I believe, because he was actually really scared of the criticism that he would get from it. And I understand why, because back then, he criticized a lot of things that was going on back then, rightly so. But anyway, he talks about that when he went through a period of unhappiness, depression, anxiety, fear, he said something which is he heard a voice that said to him, the only way for you to truly find happiness is for you to help others find happiness. So, do you know what I did? I started to feel better off the back of doing my cold water therapy. And then I went live in my Facebook group in the Next Level Coach, and I shared this story. I shared this story around me being negative, having a negative voice, and what I did. And it's a Saturday right now. It's a Saturday at 5:30. Well, it's 6 o'clock now. But it's a Saturday at 5:30 when I started to do it. So one of my members actually came on. So Sam came on a Saturday at 5:30. She came on to listen to me. And I shared it. And I really, really went deep into, utilizing things as like sharing a tool that has helped me find my happiness with someone else. And now I'm recording a podcast for you. The actual episode that I did in the Facebook group, I was live for 45 minutes. I'm not going to keep you 45 minutes because I make sure that I'm keeping these podcast episodes to around 20, 25 minutes. But, yeah, I did that. And do you know what it did? It reminded me of how amazing my community is, how much I love my work. It reminded me of how grateful I feel to be able to do this. And this is what I get paid to do, to talk about this. And that gratitude raises your vibration more than anything. So yeah, you can think positive thoughts, or you can act to have those positive thoughts into your mind automatically. So I really feel that if we can do 2 things, which is when that negative voice rears its ugly head, change your physical state. Change your physical state. Because it will naturally turn the volume of the voice down. And then change your physical state again to get those positive thoughts in there to crank up the positive volume, but do that through action. And do that through action of gratitude. Don't just think about what I'm grateful for. Do something that you feel grateful to be able to do. So whether that's being around someone that you feel grateful for, whether that's doing something. So for me, what do I feel grateful for? Look, it's fucking hard sometimes. I promise you, it's so hard. But I love that I get to do this. I love that I get to do this. So I take that action. I then go and text my partner and tell her how much I love her. She then tells me, stop being a soppy bastard. I'm then driving to go and get a Nando's, and I'm really excited for that. My vibrations changed like that. So 2 things, change your physical state. First of all, have your triggers. Have your own triggers and your own stimuluses in a positive way. Mine, cold water therapy, exercise, going for a run, doing a gym session, going for a walk, doing a yoga session. Those are my 5 things for me that I do that and I go, right, voice is here, got to change my state. Go and change my state, and then I go and change changing the state naturally lowers the volume, the voice of the music. That then goes down, it loses its power over me, and then I go, right, let's crank up the volume and get positive. How do I do that? I go and crank up the volume, get positive, and I get positive by doing actions that make me feel positive. Because it makes me realize I'm not as shit as I fucking think I am. And now I'm in a fucking great place. Go and listen to some music that makes you feel beautiful. You've got this. You've got this. So, 3 steps. First of all, realize that voice isn't you, which then means that you have control as to whether you're going to listen to it. Secondly, identify your triggers. That allows you to, in the future, avoid them. But then secondly, it allows you to then disengage from it, detach from it, and realize, like, right, okay, this voice is only here because of that. Then thirdly, do something about it. Let's lower the volume of the shitty voice. We're going to do that by changing our physical state. We're going to do that through exercise. You are a health and fitness coach. You know how to exercise, but don't use exercise as a way to look good. Use exercise as a way to feel good, to be the best version that you can be. So we're going to crank up the volume and go, right, I'm cranking up the volume. I've cranking up the volume of the positive stuff. Our exercise, our stimulus has lowered the volume of the negative stuff. I'm in a good place, got a great foundation. Now I'm going to do some form of act that is going to make me feel grateful. For me, I went into my community and I shared something and it made me feel really good. There we go. You've got this. You've got this. Never forget, if every single one of your clients gave you just one new client, you have doubled your business. But are you giving them a good enough reason to recommend you? If the answer is no, and also if you'd really like to learn the science behind all of this, to, yes, absolutely go and apply to your clients to get better results for your clients, to grow your business, to remove that imposter syndrome, that self-doubt, that worry, to know that you really, really are a coach in a league of your own, you're better than everyone else, that your clients aren't going to leave you. But more importantly, you want to use all of this sort of stuff and really go crazy deep into the science of understanding, like, right, okay, how can I utilize cold water therapy? How can I utilize all of these sorts of things to level me up physically, mentally, and spiritually, to decrease that voice, to get myself in the best possible mental state? We go through that in my Next Level Coach program because, yeah, absolutely, my Next Level Coach program is definitely all about leveling you up so you can get better results for your clients and grow your business. But it's also about you becoming the best version of yourself. Like, if you've listened to this podcast before, you've heard there's 3-step process. First of all, learn the information. Then secondly, apply it to yourself. Then apply it to your clients. We've got to apply it to yourself. All of my coaches are in a place where they have tools to be able to consistently shut that voice up, to consistently bring the volume down. To bring the volume down and really crank up the music that they want, their own voice. And they do that through all of the things that they've learned at the program. So if you want to learn more about it, or you want to submit an application, just click on the link below, okay? And just submit a no obligation application to the Next Level Coach. Okay, you'll jump on a call with me completely for free and we'll just have a chat and just see if this is going to be a good program for you. And if it is, I would love to welcome you into this amazing community. So all you have to do is just click on the link below, fill out the application form just with a couple of questions, which gives me loads of information about you, where you want to go, and then book a call, have a no obligation conversation with me, get to know you and see if we're a good fit for each other. And there we go. So I look forward to meeting you. Speak to you soon.